Happy Monday, everybody. My name is Brandon Rosa, and welcome to episode 286 of the Xbox in 10 podcast, your weekly source of Xbox gaming news covered in around 10 minutes. Every Monday, this podcast covers new game releases, the previous week's gaming news, and we all learn an Xbox-related fun fact together. The show is on YouTube and podcast services around the world, so please subscribe in your favorite and leave a review. Xboxin10.com, no numbers, is your quick source for links to all of our podcast destinations and social media profiles, which you can follow at Xboxin10. The big games out last week were Tetris Forever and the surprise release of Death Stranding. The games coming out this week include Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, Galaxy Kingdoms, Genshin Impact, Ratopia, Spelagus, Stalker 2, Heart of Chernobyl, Amadama, G.I. Joe Wrath of Cobra, Super Rolling Heroes Deluxe, Sprawl, Airy, Peace of Mind, Arita, Backlands Awakening, Burst Hero, Buck Blastem, Project 13 Taxidermy Trails, Skyroll, Uragun, and the Ouroboros King. We had one surprise Game Pass release last week, and that was Spyro's Reignited Trilogy, a series I've actually never played. Now on to last week's biggest news stories, and we have 5 to cover this week. Number 1, Microsoft reveals its new marketing campaign, This Is an Xbox. Chris Scullion at Video Games Chronicle writes, Microsoft has revealed its latest marketing campaign designed to highlight the numerous ways Xbox games can be played. The new slogan, This is an Xbox, consists of a humorous series of statements pointing out things that aren't an Xbox, such as bento boxes and bus stops, as well as devices that can play Xbox games. These include mobile phones, laptops, Amazon Fire TV sticks, and the ROG Ally handheld. Quote, This is an Xbox invites people to play with Xbox across multiple devices and screens, end quote, Xbox Marketing Senior Director Craig McNary said on the official Xbox Wire blog. Quote, It showcases the evolution of Xbox as a platform that extends across devices with bold, iconic, fun visuals and a lighthearted tone. Launching today, the campaign will come to life in a variety of ways, end quote. This includes an immersive takeover taking place in a number of major cities, including San Francisco, Atlanta, Chicago, Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, London, New York, and Berlin, where, quote, This is not an Xbox, end quote, has been ladled in unexpected places. Xbox has also partnered with a number of similar sounding brands to provide other entertaining variations on the theme. For example, a partnership with the Happy Egg Co. in the UK allows it to show their product, followed by an Xbox Series S with the slogan, quote, This is an Xbox, this is an Xbox, end quote. Quote, You're probably reading this on an Xbox-enabled device that can be powered on with the help of cloud gaming or the Xbox app for PC, end quote, McNary added. Quote, And that's the inspiration for our new This is an Xbox campaign, end quote. I gotta give it to Xbox on this one. I usually hate dumb, gimmicky marketing campaigns, but I don't know, for some reason this one hits. I think it's funny, I also think it's stupid, but I think this is the culmination of all the seeds that they have been laying for years and years, culminating in this big push. They are on the precipice of big games coming out, starting with Indiana Jones, a big licensed IP that they are expecting to hit, and they want people to know that they can play it right now because, well, everyone has a smartphone, and or at least one of these devices. I think it's pretty genius. I think it's gimmicky. I think it's good. I might buy a shirt. Yeah. Number 2, Xbox boss says everything is on the table when it comes to PS5 ports. Ben Carey at Pure Xbox writes, Ever since Microsoft started releasing some of its titles on Sony's PS5, there have been rumors that certain franchises won't ever move over. But Xbox boss Phil Spencer has thrown that notion out the window in a new interview. Chatting with Bloomberg, the Microsoft gaming CEO said there are no red lines internally at Microsoft when it comes to which series could end up on PS5. Here's exactly how Phil worded his response. Quote, I do not see sort of red lines in our portfolio that say thou must not, end quote. What Phil is getting at here is that basically any Xbox franchise could one day end up on PS5. The likes of Halo, Gears of War, Forza, and other huge Xbox games are seemingly on the table at Microsoft HQ. Although the boss did tell the outlet that it's too early to make any decisions regarding the new Unreal Engine-powered Halo. I know this is hard for some of the fanboys out there to hear, but this is what we've all already known. They are not going to stop. I do not believe now that any game is off limits, as he's pretty explicitly saying here. And now I just wonder when and what games. I mean, it seems like a complete slam dunk, right? Release Halo, the Master Chief Collection, on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. Put the time in, the game is already there. It's a massive hit after years of not working. But that game would sell millions of copies. finally maybe come out with a Gears of War collection, also released out on Sony platforms. I love my Xbox ecosystem. They're clearly stating in here and other parts of the interview they are continuing to make consoles. That business isn't going anywhere. I just personally love my controller, my console, my Xbox ecosystem. I'm all for these games going to other platforms if that means we continue to get the games and consoles in the Xbox ecosystem. Number 3, Microsoft is working on an Xbox handheld, but it's still a few years out. Tom West at True Achievements writes, this year we've seen reports that Microsoft is working on an Xbox handheld device, and even Phil Spencer has spoken out about his love for the form factor. But according to Xbox boss, we shouldn't expect to see a dedicated machine yet, as Xbox handhelds are still a few years away. In a recent interview with Bloomberg, Phil Spencer confirmed that Microsoft is working on a handheld Xbox device, although it's still in the prototyping phase. Spencer said that he's aware that the expectation is that we would do something, but the launch of a dedicated handheld is still a few years away. In the meantime, Spencer says that Xbox engineers will be working to improve the official Xbox app on other hardware, as well as partner with more third-party hardware companies to sync the Xbox experience with their devices. Quote, longer term, I love us building devices, end quote, Spencer said. Quote, and I think our team could do some real innovative work, but we want to be informed by learning and what's happening now, end quote. Interestingly, a report from Windows Central earlier this year suggested that an Xbox handheld was in development alongside the next generation of consoles, which Xbox President Sarah Bond says will offer, quote, the largest technical leap we'll have ever seen in a hardware generation, end quote. It's likely that we'll see an official Xbox handheld roll out alongside the next console generation. I gotta say, I was disappointed when I heard this. As I said on the show before, it really felt like they were ramping up to have a handheld next year in 2025, as they build up to the next gen console generation launching in 2026, which they have hinted at as well. After further thought, it does seem like this is the best idea for them. Make sure you have that next generation hardware spec'd out and fully planned before you go and build a handheld that's going to need to run a lot of those games as well. Yes, it could be done on current devices like we have with the Steam Deck or the ROG Ally. And I just really want one of these native devices. I have my Logitech G Cloud. I absolutely love it for remote and cloud play, but I want that native handheld experience. I'm trying to hold off. I don't know if I'll last if this Xbox handheld is yet years away. We shall see. Number 4, despite buying Activision Blizzard for $69 billion just last year, Microsoft definitely wants to be in the market for more video game acquisitions. Wesley Ampool at IGN writes, Microsoft is still in the market for acquisitions despite having splashed out $69 billion for Call of Duty maker Activision Blizzard just last year. In an interview with Bloomberg, Microsoft gaming boss Phil Spencer said he's up for buying more companies, although cautioned that nothing's imminent, and big deals are off the table for now. So, if Microsoft does open its wallet once again, what might it spend its billions on? Deals that add geographic diversity, including in Asia, might be worthwhile, Spencer said. Apparently, Microsoft's eyeing up buying another mobile company. Microsoft picked up Candy Crush maker King as part of the Activision Blizzard acquisition. But we definitely want to be in the market, and when we can find teams and technology and capability, that's what we are trying to do in gaming at Microsoft. Absolutely, we will keep our heads up, end quote, Spencer said. Microsoft is still busy absorbing Activision Blizzard employees, Spencer added, which is very large deals are probably impossible right now, but that leaves the door open for major acquisitions in the future. I just wanted to put that out there. This is really no surprise, but it does have me intrigued at what would they acquire next. Ubisoft seems to be in the market to sell, and they could bring a plethora of games consistently to Game Pass. Will they go after another big one? I don't know if I necessarily want that, but adding more companies will add more games to Game Pass more consistently. And number 5, South of Midnight documentary shares detailed look at Xbox's 2025 adventure. Ben Carey at Pure Xbox writes, after spotting a little teaser last week about fresh South of Midnight coverage coming soon, Xbox has dropped a chunky documentary on the upcoming Compulsion Games adventure, focusing on the team, quote, weaving Hazel's journey, end quote, in the 2025 title. You can take a look at this big old Vidoc, which goes over some of the major inspirations behind South of Midnight and the game's South US locations. It's nice to get some fresh footage on this one ahead of its release next year, and the dev team sounds very passionate about what they're creating here with South of Midnight. Music is a huge part of the unique looking Xbox experience as well, and pre-orders have just gone live for an upcoming South of Midnight art and music box set. Interestingly, this box set has a projected release date of April 30th, 2025, which could hit at the rough time that Xbox plans to bring the game itself to market as well. Of course, South of Midnight's launch date isn't confirmed yet by any means. All we know is it's coming to Xbox Game Pass in 2025. I want to give this game some love as I have not yet watched this documentary as it's been a busy week with work, but I'm hearing nothing but good things, and it seems like some of the early previews that came out, people have liked what they've seen. I'm very intrigued. This game looks very unique, very different. I was always very intrigued by We Happy Few. I love the vibe, but I played for an hour one night and it just didn't quite click. Maybe it wasn't the right time for me, but I'm excited. This is one of the big ones in 2025. As always, we end our show with a fun fact about Xbox, and since we were talking about the marketing campaign and more acquisitions, I just wanted to look up a fun fact about Microsoft and how much they spend on research and development. So just for fun, I looked up some market research, and guess what? In 2002, Microsoft spent $6.2 billion on research and development. How much do you think they spent in 2024? Well, they are up to $29 billion in fiscal year 2024, which is a record high. Microsoft ranks second among software and computer service companies worldwide in terms of R&D spend, behind only Google's parent company, Alphabet. Credit to Statista.com for that one. Isn't that crazy? Just how much money goes into research and development. Crazy. Thank you all for listening to the Xbox in 10 podcast, your weekly source of Xbox gaming news covered in around 10 minutes. If you like the show, please subscribe to your favorite podcast service, share with your friends, leave a review, and follow on all social media at Xbox in 10. This past week, I've had really no time to play any games. It's sad, so just mobile games. Marvel Snap as always every day, and I've been getting into Pokemon the trading card game. It's actually quite a simple yet sophisticated game, and it has me coming back day after day. My name is Brandon Rose. You can follow me on Xbox at Brozo93. Hope you have a great week, stay safe, and keep on gaming.